Anna May, he's describing you there. You're missing out.
I guess if people watching are going to say that I'm the biggest witch in the West for criticising all this. But actually, I'd like to know what is it celebrating? I had 4 kids. I mean, I never wanted to dress them up as a living dead and go begging, which is essentially what trick-or-treating is, isn't
that's
it?
Often the accusation, though, Martin, isn't it, that's thrown at trick-or-treating, and Sheridan says exactly that. I don't like trick-or-treating. The thought of kids knocking on doors and begging for treats just doesn't sit easy with me. We spend a lot of time saying stranger danger, don't go up to strangers, don't go and talk to them. And now, actually, on one night of the year, we're going, go on, knock on the door, go and ask for some treats.
Yeah, look, we can look for evil everywhere in the world, and we certainly find it in Count Dracula. But the point is, I take my kids trick-or-treating, like the fella there. You know, you meet new neighbours, you know, we go in for a drink, you know, we go to the pub afterwards. You know, there are very, very few times now where you're allowed to knock on doors and say, hello, I live at number 49, nice to meet you. You know, people that you see all year, and it's just a great icebreaker. It's fun, and it's like, you know, why should we just ban it because a few people don't like it? It's crazy. Let's ban Christmas. We inherited that from the Romans.
Well, actually, that's a good idea, because Christmas, people... I mean, I can understand you dressing up as a reindeer, or I can understand you dressing up as an Easter bunny at Easter, but what are you celebrating? There is nothing, is there? There is nothing apart from the tills ringing for supermarkets. There isn't actually a feast as such.
There isn't anything that brings families together, something to look forward to, all the things that go, the build-up, the kind of joy, the pumpkin carving. We've got to the point now, Holly, where we're talking about severed limbs and blood. And as I said, as I heard from a neighbour, someone who was hanging effigies, dummies off their trees on Halloween morning that looked like they were hanging there.
Is there an element...
That isn't fun. That's traumatising.
Is there an element that demystifies some of those things as well for children? That the idea of death and the macabre, and actually, you know what, for one day of the year you can go and see that it's not something to be scared about, you can embrace it. Yeah. And because I certainly feel that when me and my wife lived in central London, we didn't have kids, it was a very intimidating time, Halloween. But since we've had children, we've embraced it, a little bit like Frankie was saying there, and got the kids involved. I've fallen in love with it as... like Martin's saying, a way of getting to know some more people in the community.
No, well, last Halloween I had 5 kids who all needed a shave, blokes, on my doorstep, asking for a trick-or-treat, and so they didn't want sweets, so they wanted money, and that's menace, isn't it? I mean, that is... So it's lovely if you can confine it to the kids, but what Martin's doing by dressing up today, and adults are doing by literally hijacking what was quite a cute time, has taken... Look at all this rubbish here. It's all gone too far.
That's not rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
Yeah, it is rubbish, and it isn't real. It isn't real.
I want to eat it.
We should be respecting the dead. I mean, this is kind of making fun of it.
Please.
And no, it's true. If you've lost people, this is just not healthy. The way that we're going into it, the extremes into which we're going to it now, it's gone too far.
I think if we live in such a curmudgeonly world where we view everything so negatively, then why don't we just all give our kids iPads and just not do anything fun? So in the name of God, you know, surely for this one night we can just have a laugh. We can dress up. We can be stupid.
Yeah.
We can show our kids that it's just great to enjoy life.
It doesn't have to be grotesque.
Anna May, we're not very good at talking about death in this country, you know, talking about death with our children. I understand what you're saying is that sort of, you know, blood and gore, and should we really be promoting that? I do understand that point. But as a way of opening up the conversation of death and dying, maybe it's a healthy thing.
Well, I just don't think that, as I say, severed limbs, dripping blood, I don't think that's a good way to introduce a 4-year-old to death and dying. And I don't think we're celebrating anything. I can't see what the celebration is. The celebration is for the supermarkets, who are... And this American import, they're selling...
It's a celebration about community spirit as well.
Why don't we do that Easter or Christmas then?
Wasn't it like Hallows Eve or something?
Yeah, and that was traditional. That was really sweet, and that was kind of home-based. But it wasn't going door-to-door begging. It wasn't terrorising people. It wasn't dressing up in a way that would actually make you feel quite sick.
No. Well, no, it's actually...
It's gone too far.
It's honouring those who have passed away.
Yeah.
Not remembering those who have passed away.
Really? But if you were 3 years old, I think you look really quite cute today, but if you didn't have the blood and stuff. But now, as an adult, I think you look ridiculous.
That's fine. That's the point. But that is the point.
No, it's not.
There's an important point that Anna May's making, and this has been made by Catherine. My girls are too old for it now, but to be honest, I'm pleased. The little children are cute, but when the teenagers come knocking wearing masks and grab the sweets, it takes the fun out of it. And it can be, for lots of people, Martin, you have to admit, a very intimidating time.
It can be, and those people are perfectly entitled to not open their doors. I mean, it's not compulsory to celebrate Halloween. It's not compulsory to open your door. You could leave a note on the door saying, no Halloweeners, no trick-or-treaters. You know, that does happen.
Yeah.
You know, people aren't smashing doors in and kind of causing social menace.
Although sometimes it has been reported, we've done stories on here after Halloween where things have gone too far, but then can you let a few people ruin it for everyone?
No, because the overriding majority of humanity is good. And that's the point. It's like we can be good, we can have fun without it being viewed through this prism.
But why does it have to be macabre fun? Why can't
Why
it
not?
just be children's fun? And it is for children, not for adults. And
It's
been
fun.
hijacked by adults, and it's been bought into by the supermarkets to sell us stuff, and it isn't a celebration of anything.
For more of the same, just click here, and don't forget you can subscribe for even more of these amazing videos exclusive to our channel.
People, I'm sure, will say, Pamela Anderson is saying, don't watch porn. Hang on, she did naked...
I'm not... Have you ever been treated like a porn star in bed? It's no fun at all. Slapped, hit, called names, spit on, you know, that's sex.
And have you experienced
I
that?
have, and I never want to have that happen again.